Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and children of all ages. Finally, there's another video. I was going to do this one the other night, but I forgot that I didn't have the camera because it was off at Megadeth with my son, so I didn't have it. And here we are. So what's happening in the world? Well, in my little corner of the U of K, it's sunny and warm. And everybody is out rejoicing in the sunshine. Except me. I do not like the sunshine. I hate the sunshine. It's warm, it's bright, it hurts my eyes. It hurt my eyes anyway. I'm not a fan of the sun to start with, but since I've had the fucking laser shit and all this retinopathy crap, I can't see fuck all when it's bright. And I don't like buzzy fucking insects, and everybody tries to be so bright and happy and cheery all the time when it's sunny and warm. And in case you haven't guessed, I'm not really a bright and sunny happy disposition type of person. It's just not me. So while everybody else is pretty much out enjoying the sun and yay it's sunny and revelling in its sunniness, I've become a recluse even more so. I'm hiding out in the room with the curtains drawn, reading books and generally being even more miserable than usual. What's the point in living in a dark, dank corner of the fucking northeast of the U of K if we're not going to get dark, dank, miserable weather? I think I need to move to fucking Greenland. Anywho, that is not the point of this rant. And before anybody happens to comment, if you do happen to notice, the cup does say how to make tea, and I don't drink tea. It also has on the other side how to make coffee, so we're all good. It's coffee as per normal. Now while I think on, what's better than free coffee? Yes, free coffee. The price is right. Thank you very much, Nescafe. Awesome stuff. Anywho, today's rant is brought to you by the he said, she said. Like, it's not so much about accents, because it's not accents, and I don't know if this is regional or not. However, all I can base it on is what occurs in my ickle part of the world, where I notice a lot of people, when they're relaying a conversation to you, so for example, they're telling you of a conversation they had with somebody else. I'm able to do that because I'm quite intelligent, and I'm not just blowing my own fucking trumpet here. I like to think I'm smart enough to be able to grasp how a conversation works. One person says something, and then the other person says something back, and they converse. When you're relaying a conversation story to me, I don't need a constant interjection of so I says, so he says, such a says, so I says, so he says, such a says, and I says, so he says. For fuck's sake, it almost makes my fucking head explode. And one of the biggest culprits of doing this is my mummy. For example, the other day we were having a new couch and chair brought to the house, and the people that were bringing it couldn't get right up to the gate because the neighbours had a car parked there. So she went to ask the neighbour quite nicely, is it okay to move the car? It turned out that, which we didn't know, there was also another van there which also belonged to the neighbours, so they quite happily asked, would you like us to move the car as well? To which my mother said, yes please, and they were both moved. Now I've just related to you the conversation that went down. You grasp that, yes? Car, van, in way, mother went out, asked, so you've grasped the conversation, yes? Here's how it was relayed to me, more or less. I've just been to see whose car it was out there. So, your next door neighbour was in the garden, so I says, is that red car yours? I says, or is it the neighbour's next door? I says, so he says, he comes out and he says, oh no, it's our car, he says, so I can move it for you, I says. She says, I says, oh, if you don't mind. And he says to us, he says, do you want the red van moved as well, he says, because that's ours as well. Oh, well, if you don't mind, I says, because I says to him, I says, we're having stuff brought in, and I says, they're in the way, I says. And he says, oh, it's no problem, he says, it's fine, I can move them, he says. So he says, he'll get in the thing, and he'll move them now, he says. So I says, thanks very much, I says. And I wish that was an exaggeration. It isn't. But if anything, I've underplayed it. I've underplayed how many times he says, so I says. And it's not just my mother. A lot of people in the area where I live do that. They seem incapable of relaying a conversation between two people that they've had without, so he says, so she says, so I says. And it's every second or third word. Sometimes I says, he says, she says is in the sentence more than the actual words that were said. What the fuck is that all about? Please, somebody explain that to me. Tell me if it's in your area as well. I says, tell me if it's in your area as well, or is it just local to where I live? Because Jesus, motherfucking titty fucking Christ, it blows my mind. When people do it, I feel like, oh, I do say it a lot now. Oh, did he say? Did he? Did he? Is that what he said? Did you? Did you say? Did you? Because people just don't seem to realise they're doing it. It's like an involuntary tick. They have this urge to say, so I says, so she says, so I says, so he says. And oh, how I wish that was the only one. Because another one which I have noted, and I do also know that this is prevalent in America because I watch videos on YouTube and other vlogs and such, is like. The amount of times people say the word like when they're talking. Now, I happen to end up doing it a lot if somebody around me is doing it. If somebody around me is talking and they say like a lot during the conversation, it annoys me because it rubs off on me, and I catch myself doing it and make a very conscious effort to stop because it sounds fucking retarded. But people will like say like, they'll be like telling you like a conversation like, and they'll say like, well, I went like down the street to the shop like, and when I went in the shop there was these like things like on the shelf like. What is that all about? For spelling and grammar errors, I can only blame schools, and it's not just schools here in the UK. It's obviously schools fucking worldwide. Either that or people generationally are just getting dumber and dumber. Again, there's a Joe Rogan piece, which if you haven't heard it, I urge you to troll YouTube and find it, because he talks about stupid people. Basically how the dumb people, the stupid people, are out fucking the smarter people, and they're taking over. They're like a virus, like a bacteria, and there's just becoming so many more of them that the smart people are getting less and less. And that's all I can put it down to, because it can't just be the schools. Schools, if it was one country or one area, yes, but the number of people that can't fucking cope, can't seem to grasp basic grammar, basic English, basic spelling, is ridiculous. It's fucking people just, it's worldwide. It's Canada, it's America, it's England, it's Europe, other countries. People just don't seem to fucking grasp it. And I blame the schools. It's all it can be. Either schools or generational people, fucking stupid people making fucking stupid babies that fucking don't have a fucking chance. And I realise I've used fucking a lot in that sentence, and like annoys me. But hey, you call them swear words, I call them sentence enhancers. Fuck you. So yes, that went a little bit off the rails slightly there. But I don't understand. I don't get why people have this need to put the word like every second or third word in a sentence, or why when they're relaying a conversation they have an overwhelming need to punctuate it with he said, so I said, so she said, so he said, so I said. But hey, leave me a comment, let me know, is this something you've come across? Does it annoy you? Do you not give a fuck? Are you one of the people that uses these and maybe hasn't realised before now until I've told you? Or are all the people that do this and don't realise just a bunch of twat nuggets that can't get their fucking head round how to relay to somebody else what was said without having to say, so I said, so she said, so he said, so I said. Don't get me wrong, an occasional. I went to the shop and you'll never believe what the guy behind the counter said. He said, and then just say what he said. It doesn't. You don't need to say what he said every second or third word. He said, so I said, so she said, so he said, so I said, so I said. It just doesn't need it. People, I was going to say people are smart enough to grasp it. Then again, most of the people I tend to find online and in real life, not that smart. So maybe that's why people do say he said, so I said, just said, so he said, so I said. I don't know. What I do know is I am going to finish my coffee. I am going to finish this video, and I am going to get ready for Maria Sharapova to play in the French Open at 1 o'clock our time, which is, if we look at the clock, about 25 minutes away. So, as ever, I'm warm, I'm miserable, I'm hating the heat, I'm hating the sun, I'm hating people that annoy me by not being able to spell, I'm hating people that annoy me by not being able to relate conversation without he said, so I said, she said, or like. I'm basically hating pretty much everything right now, apart from coffee, free coffee, and Maria Sharapova. Oh, and free t-shirts that I won. Anywho, until the next time, this is the Miserable Brit saying, he said, to you, fuck you, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.